Welcome to the London Open Backgammon 2012. It's the final. Over the last 2 days, world backgammon giants, professionals and talented hopefuls have battled it out for a place in today's final. Of the 128 players who started, 126 will go home disappointed. Yes, that's right, it's the final and we're down to just 2 players. Based on pure player ability, we'd be expecting Marcus Rynch to just have the edge over Tom Duggan. However, if instead you look at where these players have met in the past, they are in fact coming out as evenly matched. What do the players think of their chances and of their opponents? We'll find out in just a minute, but first we ask the players. Why is backgammon better than chess or poker?
Chess is a game of pure skill and thoughts. But backgammon, because you've got the luck element of the dice, that makes it so much more exciting, and it can just swing from one end to the other like a chess game can't.
Why is it better than chess or poker? I'm not sure I can answer that question.
Well, I think chess and poker are both great games, but I think chess is uninteresting when you've got players of different abilities.
Chess, you can't gamble on it, for a start. Only the best players play and win, generally. Backgammon, anyone can play like poker. You can't see who the better player is just by looking. People don't know, so people appreciate that luck element, and therefore they gamble on it.
I think as a game itself, chess is superior. But I think with chess, if you're playing someone who's slightly better than you, you will never win.
So if you've got a grandmaster playing against an intermediate, the grandmaster is always going to win. So there's not a great deal of challenge and fun there. Whereas in backgammon, if you've got a world-class player playing against a beginner, the beginner will still win maybe 20–30% of the game.
Because it combines skill, luck and psychology, it is possible to beat a superior opponent, and even to do so from a horrible or inferior position.
You can win games that you've got less than a 1% chance of winning, and it's quite can be quite an emotional roller coaster at times.
You're never out of the game. It's always worth being involved and thinking things through.
If there's luck, people gamble. If there's no luck, people aren't going to gamble.
Well, I really think backgammon's kind of an adult version of poker. It's much more interesting, the swings are bigger, there's more to think about, and it's just a much better game.
You can't sit down and play the chess world champion. You know, Garry Kasparov, you're never going to play him. Backgammon is open enough that you can have that experience.
Marcus, we spoke to you when you were in the last 16 and now you've made it through to the final. How has it been?
I've been very lucky. I've had some great dice, played some good opponents, and if it's your day, it's your day. You know that's so far. Just hope it continues, really.
Tom, you were watching the semi-final match between Marcus and Brian. Did you spot anything there that made you nervous?
Marcus is rolling.
And Tom, you're well known for playing a large number of money games and tournament play. Is that going to help you now?
I'm not nervous, but yes, I'm sure it will.
And Marcus, you actually make a living from playing backgammon.
Yeah.
How are you going to use the position you're in now to your advantage?
Oh, it's really just another day at the office, in all honesty. And Tom and I have played many times, always been a good game, so just looking forward to it and wish Tom the best of luck.
And who's been in the past, who's been the winner between you?
We've been about equal, Tom.
Yeah, it's been close. It's been close.
Yeah.
All right, so evenly matched. Best of luck, guys,
Thank
and may the best man win.
Thank you very much. Good luck, Tom.
Good luck.
The finals underway and we'll be getting back to the action in just a moment. But first, I took some time out to catch up with Jansari, who's one of just 2 British backgammon giants. Only 2 giants.
I know, it's an exclusive club. You know, we snuck in, myself and Fetterline, as you know.
Is that a reflection on British players?
What, that the rest of them are pretty poor and us 2 are really great? Yeah, probably. No, there are some good players in the UK, but I guess some of the players get recognised more if they travel a little bit more maybe, or have had success in other areas and people get to know them, maybe get a few more votes. But no, we've got some good players in the UK, yeah.
Do you think British players are viewed as being good players by people elsewhere?
Sure, I mean, I find it so difficult to get money games, all over the place. No, I think we're up and coming, We're getting more and more feared. The more we sort of travel abroad, we've been a bit reticent in going abroad and playing in the big tournaments, but now I think we're getting there. We're getting there slowly, and we're getting a bit more of a reputation. And no, I think we're quietly sort of feared. Yeah, although they won't admit to that.
So do you think 2012 could be the year for Britain then?
Listen, we've got a lot of stuff going on in the UK. The Olympics being the biggest of it, and it's going to be big for backgammon as well. And one time, I'm sure we'll get backgammon into the Olympics as well. It's going to be a great year for Britain, and I think we're going to do well, in our home tournaments and abroad. And we're going to make a mark. We're going to show the world how it's done.
We're going to take it to them.
We certainly are. I really think we are, and I'm going to try my best to do that.
Excellent. So when you've played as this kind of typical fearsome British player, how do you intimidate your opponents when you're playing them?
Oh my gosh, I do all kinds of stuff. Wind them up when I'm playing, comment on their plays, comment on the difficult decisions they have to make. Yeah, it's funny. The more you play and the more of a reputation you get of actually being able to play, it's sort of, it just carries on. It multiplies, and people get unduly worried about playing, and sometimes they make mistakes that they otherwise wouldn't, even very good players as well. So it's kind of all part of the disguise, part of the fun of it all, just exuding kind of aura and then putting players off sometimes. That does happen. The best players do that. I've seen some of the best players in the world kind of do that, talking all the time. Gus Hansen's very good at it. He's a great poker player and he does a lot of that.
How do you react when other players do that to you?
I don't usually find them doing that much. They're too kind of, generally people are too worried about making their own plays and concentrating on what they're doing. So no, I don't really get that much of a commentary back from players. I mean, I often, if we're playing and I see something that I don't like, I'll say, oh yeah, that's terrible. I said, how can you play that? I bet on this position, and mostly people don't want to bet on positions with me.
Is that because they lose?
Well, yeah. I mean, I do well in prop chouettes generally, which is all about betting on positions and playing games out. So yeah, and then they're more reticent that they play. They get even more sort of flustered about plays and making the right play and making more mistakes when they think about things too much. Generally, your first instincts are generally the most correct, but people still tend to take ages and ages over plays, including your good husband Sean.
How do you find playing against female players?
I got no problem with that, but I tend to maybe not wind them up at all. I don't know why. Maybe that's just a respectful thing. I'm not sure, but I find it probably more difficult to play female players because I just have to try and kind of play. And I think female players don't get ruffled as much as male players. They just sort of, even if you do talk, they just sort of carry on with that. So I actually find it quite difficult playing female players.
Very interesting. So why are there so few female players, do you think?
I don't know. I think there's quite a few female players playing, and some really, really great female players as well, and they're coming through. Maybe it was seen before as more of a male sort of preserve with people gambling. You don't generally find women gamble as much as men. That's just seems to be a fact. And so, backgammon being a gambling game, women seem to be a little more sort of reserved in that. But I think they're coming through. There's a lot of bolshy women coming through. So I look forward to that. I think that's great. There's no reason why women can't be as good or even better than men. No reason at all.
What is it that you love most about backgammon? Is it the gambling? Is it the mental agility?
Yeah, you know, it's got all of those facets and a lot more as well. You know, it's got so many different areas that you need to concentrate on, and that sets it apart from all the other games. Like, I think like chess and poker and all the other games. Chess, you can't gamble on it for a start. Only the best players play and win generally. Backgammon, anyone can play like poker. You can't see who the better player is just by looking. People don't know, so people appreciate that luck element, and therefore they gamble on it. You know, there's luck, people gamble. There's no luck, people aren't going to gamble. There are so many facets to the game. It's incredible. You know, pattern recognition skills, the mathematical skills, the statistical abilities that you need, the risk-reward ratio calculations that you have to do across, over the board, and there's time pressures when you're playing with a chess clock as well. So there's a great deal to backgammon, and the gambling is just one element of it. I do enjoy the gambling side of it. It's a hobby. It's a hobby that pays me a bit of pocket money, so I love it.
Excellent. Thanks very much, Raj.
Thanks, Zoe.
In the final, Tom just edged ahead and offered an early doubling cube to raise the stakes. Marcus accepted the cube, but managed to turn the game around, winning a gammon against Tom and a massive 4 points. It became increasingly difficult for Tom to pull the game back, as Marcus went 6-0 ahead and then managed to roll the dice in the final game to win 7-0. It was a walkover.
Cheers, Tom. Well played.
Marcus, how are you feeling?
Really happy, and Tom was very unlucky. I had some great dice. Tom's a very, very good adversary. He'll never give up and always fight to the end, so it keeps the mind well and truly focused. At no point, even when I was bearing off, did I feel the game was won, because I know Tom is more than capable of turning a match around from 6-0.
When Marcus won the gammon, I was very surprised he actually took the cube to 2. That was a hard cube for him to take, and he turned it round perfectly.
So you were ahead and you actually doubled him, and then he won a gammon?
It's always galling to lose a gammon on your cube, isn't it?
Any key moments you can remember?
I threw a fantastic double 5 towards the end, which kind of took a lot of the sweat out of the game. It gave me a 6 prime. It hit Tom. I had 3 men behind a 6 prime. If you're going to play backgammon and get dice like that, it makes life a great deal easier. The game Tom talked about, I felt was a take. I felt was a reasonably comfortable take. Not a cube you want to see, prefer not to be doubled. But I did feel it was a takeable cube. I'm sure through the analysis at some point we'll find out if I was right or wrong. But.
And are you pleased to be the London Open champion 2012?
Yeah, I mean, a big thank you to Mike and Sean and all the organisers. They've done a fantastic job, made us so welcome, and Browns here in Covent Garden in London. It's been a great weekend, obviously topped by winning a tournament. But no, it's been fantastic. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thanks very much, guys.
Thank you.
I hope you've enjoyed the tournament as much as I have. See you next time at the London Open Backgammon.
If you're looking for a backgammon club near you, take a look at backgammoninlondon.com. If you're based in London, there are weekly tournaments in either Camden or Fulham, or you can find links on the website to clubs elsewhere in the country or even in other parts of Europe or the rest of the world.